And welcome back now to the Megan Thee Stallion shooting trial that we've been following. Jury deliberations are underway in that case against Torey Lanez, the rapper accused of shooting the Grammy winner more than 2 years ago. The singer says that Lanez fired a gun at her after a party in the summer of 2020, but Lanez disputes that allegation and pled not guilty to 3 felony gun charges. For more, let's bring in ABC News contributor and SiriusXM radio host Mike Muse, along with Terri Austin, host and legal analyst at the Law and Crime Network. So, Mike, you have been following this trial from the very beginning. Biggest takeaways so far?
The biggest takeaway, Kira, for me is how much of a cultural significance this case has become. It's really interesting to see how we see 2 sides being drawn. You see Team Torey and Team Megan. And it's really fascinating to see that Megan was shot and that there was so much conversation about her, whether or not she was shot or not, and the fact that she is lying, some people believe. It's also too fascinating is how much of her personal life has come into question. And Kira, just brings up the age-old adage about, women, when they become victims, they often, their sexual history and their dating life becomes part of the narrative, which shouldn't be the case at all. And so all this case is being handled in the court of law. It's also being handled in the case of court of public opinion. And it's really uncovering a lot of cultural dynamics that we see with so many people weighing in, from elected officials all the way to her fellow rappers.
Yeah, and Mike, if you don't mind just expanding on that, I mean, you've got rappers writing songs and lyrics, and there's Team Lanez and Team Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, it's definitely rocked the hip hop world.
I'm really glad that you picked up on that, Kira, because in Megan's statement, in her testimony, one of the most powerful statements that she said was that, the music industry is dominated by men. And the fact of the courage and bravery that was needed for her to speak out against this man who is very popular, who is big within the hip hop community, the bravery she needed. And she knew she was going to experience backlash as a result of it, but she didn't realize the amount of backlash that she received from the fact of her mental health all the way to her career. I can't imagine being in a music industry or being in a field where your colleagues don't believe you, right? They don't have any confidence in you. And that brings up a lot of issues that women have in the workplace, no matter in the music industry or not, in particular within the music industry.
Terri, what about you? What stood out to you the most as you've been following this?
Well, I think that the evidence so far definitely shows that Lanez shot her, but there is some doubt here, and that's what's standing out to me, whether or not that jury is going to look at the evidence and determine that they're using their common sense. The standard for the prosecution is beyond a reasonable doubt, but it doesn't have to be beyond all doubt. And we know the defense has tried to put some doubt in that jury's mind. They basically have stated that, it wasn't Lanez who did the shooting and that Kelsey Harris is the one who did the shooting. But Kelsey Harris is the one who originally said Lanez shot Megan. She sent 3 texts that said, help, Torey shot Meg, 911. So I think if the jury uses their common sense, looks at all of the evidence, and what makes sense to them is the fact that, she got shot and the driver didn't shoot her and Lanez probably did.
So, Terri, it's just 2 days before Christmas, and if the jury doesn't come to a verdict by today, court will be out of session until the 27th. Based on your experience, does this typically make juries rush?
I think they are going to rush to come to some sort of conclusion, but they're not going to ignore the evidence. They're being very careful. They've asked a couple of questions already. They wanted the definition of willful. They are asking about testimony again from that neighbor who testified. So they want to be careful, and they decided to come back today. So I do think it means they want to wrap this up before the holidays. You have men and women on that jury who want to get ready for the holidays. So I think they'll be very cautious and careful, but I do think we'll probably be seeing something at the end of today.
Okay, stay tuned. Mike Muse, Terri Austin, thank you both so much. Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.